Well, it's day 2, or I should say part 2 of the Corolla Saga, and as you can see, I'm back in my car, and guess what? It actually, oh, I can't find my key here, but you'll not believe it. You'll be able to hear it. It actually runs, yay! Alright, well, let me show you what we went through and what the moral of the story was. So this is the invoice from the mechanic here. As you'll see at the top part, the first time they put the ECM in there, it said that they couldn't talk to it. They found that when they did get it programmed with the right VIN, that was because I tried to use that trick, didn't have the right VIN. They said that it had an internal malfunction, so they put in a replacement one, and as you can see here in the box, I have the other dead ECM here in the box. So now I have bookends. But they supplied me the information here and there. This is the one where the ECM wasn't responding, and it goes through there where it's got basically all kinds of codes. Sorry, I don't have the gimbal here, but keep her steady. But so, and then when they did get it back up, these were the permanent codes they found in the first replacement ECM that was in there. You'll see camshaft position sensor, control module for the throttle position, basically same kind of thing I had before. And then that was the diagnostic report showing that there were 4 permanent codes in there. And then this was them saying they'd reprogram my immobilizer system with my new key. And then today, this is after they replaced it. You'll see there is no codes and everything is good and clear. So the moral is the story, I guess, is that I tried the trick online to get past the reprogramming of the key. I guess in these Toyotas, that's a bad idea. That's basically what I got told by the mechanic. That without that proper VIN in there, it does not do good things. So if you are going to replace one of these ECMs yourself, do make sure you got a proper programmer. These guys had an Autel scanner. But that was, I guess, step number 1. And number 2 is that sometimes doing yourself with these ECMs that don't, aren't very cooperative, it's not necessarily a good thing. But, the most frustrating part for me is that this took how many attempts to be able to get right. I mean, as you see, I got an ECM there. I got an ECM downstairs. So 2 dead ECMs, had to put in a 3rd one. And did have to also replace the throttle body. It seems to be working really well now on the new throttle body. So, I mean, there is a number of issues there, but, it's just baffling to me how one single component, like, this thing here, can take out a whole vehicle, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then, like, this report here with these codes, like, you've either got to have something that can interpret them, or you got to have somebody who knows what they're talking about to be able to understand them. And it just, I guess coming from a world where, we had people bring computers to us too because they didn't understand them and they needed somebody to diagnose them. But, from a lot of points, from a diagnosis point, they're typically fairly straightforward. And there was enough things that we had, that we could tell basic stuff from very easy points. Where I find, automotive world, and especially these newer vehicles, like reading some people's posts online, it's getting worse instead of better. Like they're talking about, friends of ours have a Hyundai Santa Fe, and you have to have a programmer just to change the brakes. Like, holy smokes, people. I know they don't start on me in the liability stuff and all that. I get that. Like, trust me, I do. I'm not trying to play ignorant on that. It's just that it's getting harder and harder for people to repair, even so complicated that even sometimes the mechanics are having trouble with the diagnosis. And to me, I don't see the point of that. I mean, yes, I know mechanics want you to bring it to them so that they get the service money, because that's where they make a lot of their money, but it's just, it's not efficient, even if the mechanics got to take forever to do it. So, but anyway, there you have it. Like I said, in the part 1 video, if you want the diagram on the new modular design we're doing, it is up for free in the gallery in the Buy Me a Coffee website. I'm gonna also share maybe some other freebies here shortly for people to be able to get there. But I'm gonna be releasing a video here of that next step on the modular design. We're gonna be designing the genset module, both the code and the wiring. So hope you'll tune in for that. So subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.